now from Vestron Video at a video store near you.
You're listening to the VHS Ate My Brain podcast. I'm Andrew Haunt, the host of this said podcast. I'm the author of some books called VHS Ate My Brain, VHS Ate My Brain 2, The Revenge, and a bunch of other stuff, but none of which sells as much as those do. So that's what I'm most known for, as well as writing for comics and magazines and a bunch of other stuff. You may also be aware of my YouTube channel, Planet Hex, on which I talk about a lot of VHS as well. So welcome back. On this episode, I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff that I'm going to sell. So sell-through tapes, otherwise known as mass market tapes. I love them dearly. I had many of them over the years, but it's always my focus is the X rentals, the big box X rental tapes. So that's my main focus, and I just have too many sell-throughs at the moment. So I'm going to have a bit of a clear out of those because they're going on eBay. Everything starts at 99p. I want to be fair with things. If people want to buy them at any price, that's fine. So yeah, I'm going to go through what I've got here. I've got quite a stack of VHS tapes here. Some of which may not be what you would expect me to talk about, but I'm going to go through what I'm selling here. I've already got a bunch up on eBay, like Full Metal Jacket, Police Academy 6, City Under Siege. I think that was City Under Siege. A couple of Doctor Who ones, that sort of thing. But I'm going to go through all the others I'm going to put up here. And they're in no real order. So these are ones I've either bought myself or have been donated over the years where people are getting rid of their collections. And that's just a really nice thing that people will think of me when they do that. So I'm going to take a look at what's going up. Now, I don't have the same connection to these tapes themselves, but the stuff on them I do always have some kind of connection to. So I'm always going to be sad when a tape goes, but the X-Rental ones are the ones that really interest me, and that I have that connection to the video rental stores of yesteryear. Yeah, mainly Metro Video in Maitland Bridge. I miss that place. I know I wrote about it, I mentioned it a lot, but I do miss that place. It was really special to me. Like some people have a favourite record store growing up or something like that. Anyway, to the sell-throughs I've got on these stacks. I know they're not going to fetch much, and I'm going to do some of them as bundles, but that's not the point. I'm not that bothered about the money. It'd be nice. It's been a very heavy month. Let's see what we've got here. So the first one I've got here is Alice Cooper Trashes the World. So that's a concert video filmed in Birmingham. That's not a Birmingham accent. What am I doing? Sorry, anyone from Birmingham. I do apologise. So that's got all the hits on it. It's got $1 Billion Babies, I'm 18, No Mr. Nice Guy, School's Out Under My Wheels, Poison, all that sort of thing. So Alice Cooper. I actually met him twice when I was working in a comic shop. He wandered in twice, once out of costume and once in costume. He was really, really friendly, really lovely guy. The next one on this stack, Animaniacs Volume 1. Now there was one of the finest cartoons ever made, if not the finest cartoon ever made. If you've never seen Animaniacs before, it dates from like the early 90s, and it really riffed on the Animaniacs being Warner Brothers properties. So there's Yakko, Wacko and Dot. Do check out the Animaniacs. And if you're of a certain age that remembers Animaniacs, do go and revisit the theme tune. Now that I've mentioned it, you want to sing along to it. I bet you still remember all the words as well. I certainly do. What's next? Okay, on the next one, the next tape on the pile is Soft Cell's Non-Stop Exotic Video Show. So music tapes tend to be of interest to a lot of people. Sometimes you won't shift movies, you might shift TV shows because people often have a greater connection to TV shows, but music seems to be a genre of VHS that I always seem to sell. I always seem to shift when I have them in or when I'm trying to pass them on. So this is quite a is that NTSC? I'm not sure. There's no certification on that. I'm going to check if that's an NTSC tape, because I would have to list that on eBay as such, if so, because that does not appear to be PAL. Oh no, PAL colour, okay. Oh, it may actually be before the BBFC started having labels on everything. Yeah, 1982, so that is pre-cert. Interesting. See, there and Soft Cell did do more than just Tainted Love. Oh yeah, next tape that's come off the pile is Prehysteria. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Prehysteria. This was made by Moonbeam Entertainment, which is like the family movie offshoot of Full Moon Features. And we all know I love Full Moon Features. And Prehysteria, it came out in 1993 when dinosaurs were all the rage thanks to Jurassic Park literally changing the playing field. So you had a lot of things coming out like Carnosaur and lots of knockoffs like that. But Prehysteria, it's about miniature dinosaurs, little miniature animatronic puppet dinosaurs making friends with a little dude. And it's a really fun, pleasant movie. It's a good watch. The practical effects in it are a lot of fun. Oh god, yeah, I have a lot of Doctor Who VHS here. If you're not aware, I was previously a massive Doctor Who fan. It has faded in recent years. I got a bit tired with the new run. Didn't really get on with much of it since about halfway through the 12th Doctor's run, and just kind of faded away. But I'm sad about that, because I do love the classic series dearly. And if you're not aware, I did once write for one of the UK comics, so in a tiny way I am part of Doctor Who canon, as I wrote a Paternoster Gang story starring Madame Vastra and Jenny and Strax in issue 12 of one run of Doctor Who Adventures. Had Peter Capaldi on the front, and it came with a load of toys. So if you, it didn't have my name on it there, I didn't put the byline on it. So if you guys have a particular issue of Doctor Who Adventures, and you find a story called The Case of the Curious Fugitive, that was me. That was fun. But I was a huge Doctor Who fan, absolutely massive. I've got the 5 Doctors here. Now this is the unabridged version. So it's not cut together into a movie. It's the regular movie length one. This is completely unabridged, and that's cool. It's in the old black packaging with the multicoloured diamond logo, which the BBC have gone back to the diamond logo for Doctor Who in recent years, and that's cool. Oh, got a box set here. It's V. Remember V? The collector's edition of V. The box is a bit battered, I'm not going to lie. The box is a bit rough on the outside, but the 4 tapes that are inside are fine. So we've got V, the mini-series, and then 3 tapes of the Final Battle Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. That is a nice collection. That was a really good show. It had a very sort of dramatic, dark feel to it, and I really loved that about it. It took itself seriously. It wasn't just kind of throwaway sci-fi that was all a bit kitsch and a bit knowing and played for laughs rather than anything else. This was a really serious piece of sci-fi, and really enjoy that. So I hope someone else is going to enjoy that when they pick it up. Next one, I've got another Doctor Who one, Dragonfire. It was a Sylvester McCoy 7th Doctor story, and that was the debut of Ace, played by Sophie Aldred. I've got WWE one here, like WWF then, 3 Faces of Foley, all about Mick Foley and Cactus Jack and so on. So let's just see what state that tape's in. That's perfect. Oh, it's even got the receipt in it. When was this bought? HMV in Sheffield. Where's the date? Come on, where's the date? It's not there. There's no date on it. How dare they? Oh, there it is. 10th of April, 1999. I like it when they've left the receipt in there. Next one I've got is Run Lola Run with Franco Potente, the famous Run Lola Run with one story told 3 different ways with 3 different endings. That was a really cool film. I love it. There's animated sequences, really good soundtrack, all that sort of thing. So that's looking good. Good condition. This library sticker inside it. I'll take the library sticker off. There we go. It's much more attractive now. And it's got an orange case on it. You can't go wrong with an orange case. It matches Franco Potente's hair in there. Oh, there's a music video. Next on the pile is LA Guns. Remember LA Guns? They were originally part of the original version of Guns N' Roses, thanks to the guitar player Tracy Guns. This is Love, Peace and Geese. Great title, guys. It's one of those short music videos that had just a few videos on it, and some like intercutting, little bits of footage between them. So this has got five tracks on it, but it does include Ballad of Jane, which is marvellous. What a song on that. I've got a double feature box next on the pile. I remember seeing both of these at the cinema. This is Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2. And it's funny to me now that these were so massive when they came out. Those are in great condition. These were so massive when they came out, and yet they are kind of forgotten. They feel sort of forgotten now, Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2, which is a shame because they're a lot of fun. And Mike Myers and Dana Carvey were superb in those. Right, onto the rest of the pile. One thing I am not a big fan of, I don't mind it, but I'm not particularly a big fan, is South Park. And there are some South Park tapes in here. I've got Welcome to South Park Volumes 1, 2 and 3, the box set with 3 VHS tapes in it, in a attractive South Park themed slipcase. And I've got South Park Not Without My Anus, and Cartman's Mom is Still a Dirty Slut. Okay, Series 2, Volume 1. I think I've got some more in that stack here somewhere. I do have several Simpsons ones in here. Let's see what these... Okay, the next ones we've got. 3 in a row. Simpsons. Simpsons Heaven and Hell. Simpsons Collection Moaning Lisa. Simpsons Collection Treehouse of Horror. Excellent. Okay, those are going well. I'm thinking with the Simpsons ones and the South Park, those are going to go up as individual batches just of those shows. Doctor Who Paradise Towers. Big connection to Doctor Who, big connection to this era in particular with the Seventh Doctor. I've met Sylvester McCoy, had a photo with him, and he's absolutely lovely. Also met Sophie Aldred, Ace, at the same time as well. Rush Hour 2 with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. I like the Rush Hour movies. I think I know they are an acquired taste for many, but I get it. Series 2, Part 1 of The Fast Show. For people in the UK of a certain age, you would remember the very fast-paced, intentionally fast-paced comedy sketch show and all of its many, many slogans and catchphrases. Oh, suits you, sir, suits you. That's probably the most popular one, I would imagine. Silver Nemesis, Doctor Who, the extended version in the green and silver foil cover, which includes Sylvester McCoy's story, Silver Nemesis, with the Cybermen in it, and the making of Silver Nemesis as a behind-the-scenes feature on there as well. So that's pretty cool, to be honest. So yeah, it's got the full version of Silver Nemesis and the making of. I like a making of. Even with like TV stuff, I like to be able to see what happened behind the scenes. Another Doctor Who one, a Tom Baker story, Nightmare of Eden. It's alright. I'm not a huge fan of Tom Baker's Doctor. I know that's sacrilege, but that's just, I'm just being honest. I'm always going to be honest on this show. I don't want to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. Doctor Who, More Than 30 Years in the TARDIS. That was a good documentary on the series and its rise and eventual fall in the late 80s, and then it came back as a Paul McGann TV movie and so on, stuff like that. I've got a Made in Hong Kong edition of John Woo's The Killer. Nice. That's going up. That was a really good watch. Not one I really want to revisit, though. I got Cool Runnings. Yes. Cool Runnings is awesome. Let's see what state the tape's in. Yeah, that's perfect. See, these are great titles, but they are on sell-through, and that doesn't have that same resonance for me that things that were in a video store always did. So that's why I'm not so worried about getting rid of these, but I hope they will find a good home. I've got Honest here, which was a Dave Stewart film, notorious for having 3 of the ladies from All Saints show up without clothing in that. I've got 3 James Bond tapes. Never been a big James Bond fan, but don't mind them. And these are 3 of the 4 Pierce Brosnan movies. So we've got GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, and The World Is Not Enough. They're a good watch. I don't want to revisit them again, but I'm sure someone will. Another Doctor Who, Terror of the Zygons. A Tom Baker one I do love. I love the Zygons. I just love how ridiculous they are, covered in suckers and things. Yeah, that's nice. I've got a bit of a bang on the corner of the case. Tape and the covers look fine. I might be able to replace the case on that. What have we got next? So, another South Park, Starving Marvin and Mecha Streisand. That'll go with the others. And another Simpsons. That will also go with the Simpsons pile. The Springfield Murder Mysteries with Sideshow Bob on it. This is a weird one I found a little while ago. Gapper, the Triphibian Monster. I still haven't watched this, so I need to watch this before it goes. It just has a gold label on it that says the best in video. So I think mainly the reason I need to watch that is to make sure it's not had like something rude recorded over it. But that looks really cool, really fun. Love an old kaiju movie. MI2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Tremors, Toy Story, Me, Myself and Irene. Then I know those aren't going to go for much, but if someone wants them at 99p plus postage, I'll put them up on my eBay page. Just makes it easier for everyone. I don't want to do anyone out of money, because I know money is hard to come by. What's this one? The Simpsons, Sex Lies in the Simpsons, with Homer doing the Sex Lies in videotape thing. Oh, we got a Doctor Who classic, Pyramids of Mars. Absolutely wonderful. What a great story with Sutek, the introduction of Sutek that did show up in the other series recently. Excellent. So what have we got here? Oh, we've got the first Rush Hour movie. Dumb and Dumber, classic. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. So there's some 90s classics in here. Happy Gilmore. That's good timing, because the second one is coming out soon. I think I heard the first one's going back out on release in cinemas as well. So that'll be pretty cool. Power Rangers the movie. The foil stamped cover with Ivan Ooze. That was one I picked up at a car boot sale, which I'd heard a lot about. The Carlton car boot sale here in Nottingham, and it was amazing. The best car boot sale I've ever been to. Hundreds and hundreds of stores. They'd even got like bouncy castles and toilets set up, and the bouncy castles weren't in the toilets, don't worry, but they'd got all that set up, and they'd got food wagons and all kinds of stuff for people to enjoy. And it was summertime. There must have been like 1,000 cars and about 600 dealers, 500, 600 dealers, and it was so cool. And I was hoping for some X-Rentals, but all I found on the entire thing was one small box sell-through of Power Rangers, so I had to get that. I didn't want to go home without getting a tape. The last two tapes in this batch of stuff that's going up from my sell-throughs that are going on eBay, we've got the Fast Show live and the first Mortal Kombat movie. You know, the good one. The good one that's been done. Sorry, I maintain it. The more recent version is not great. It's a bit nah. This is the original one with Christopher Lambert in it, and Gary Hiroyuki Tagawa as Shang Tsung, and it was a lot of fun, even though they only had Goro in it for about like 3 seconds. Effects were expensive then, man. They had to make the most out of the money. So that's a batch of sell-throughs I'm putting on eBay, and we'll put those up at 99p each and just see how they go. If they don't sell at 99p, I might just bundle some more of them up, but the Simpsons and the South Park ones are going to bundle up. How do you do it? How do you price stuff when you're selling them on eBay? Do you like to put up what you'd like to get for it, or do you start low and just pray? See, I always feel kind of bad asking for a lot of money outright when I list videos on eBay. I don't like to presume that they're worth a ton. If people want to pay more than the asking price of 99p, that is entirely up to them, and I will gladly welcome that and support it. But that's up to them entirely. So yeah, that's a look through the sell-throughs I've got. They'll be showing up on my eBay page. My eBay page is DreamRider_Neon. I've had that name for 20 odd years on there. How long now? Probably about 23 years, something like that. 22 years on eBay, and that's quite a thought that I've spent so much time on there. But it's always been good. It's been supportive when I've needed extra money, and it's also been really good to build my collections, the various iterations of my collections. And yes, selling tapes on eBay does seem like sacrilege when I am so known for talking about VHS tapes and collecting them, but these are ones I do not really connect with. I've seen them many times, I've loved them, and I think it's time for more collectors to go and get hold of them at a cheap price. So that's kind of how it is with those, because my connection, as I mentioned, will always be with the X-Rental ones. It's a really fun thing. So with all that said, let's check out what I've been watching this week over on this week's Rentals. So for this week's Rentals, I've got 3 tapes here that I have revisited this week. A bit eclectic, to say the least. First one is Beavis and Butthead. There Goes the Neighbourhood. I mean, I love these. I love Beavis and Butthead. I was exactly the right age to really appreciate Beavis and Butthead. And, it's a cultural phenomenon. These tapes don't have the music videos in, so it's missing a lot of the, slagging off music videos, but it's got the mini episodes. So this one had on it. It had Home Improvement, Lawn and Garden, Good Credit, Washing the Dog, Versus the Vending Machine, Mr. Anderson's Balls, Pool Toys, The Trial. So it's a good laugh. It's 44 minutes of Beavis and Butthead humour. You can't go wrong with that. The next one I revisited was a Troma movie. I love Troma. I love the whole ridiculous premise of Troma movies. It's Frostbiter, Wrath of the Wendigo. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Starring Ron Ashton, Laurie Baker, Patrick Butler, Devin Burton, and a bunch of other people you've not heard of. So it's about a deadly creature of the north that, according to Native American law, will rise to strike terror into the hearts of those who desecrate its resting place. When a group of hunters with lust of blood disturbs the peace on a remote island, they awaken the invincible wrath of the Wendigo, the demon Frostbiter. It's silly fun, it's got that Troma feel. And that's pretty much all I can say about it, to be honest. The other one I've got, the third choice here for this week's rentals, is The Hunger, starring none other than Catherine Deneuve, Susan Sarandon, and David Barry. Sorry, Susan Sarandon. Sorry, I can hear you all saying it there. And David Barry. And it's a vampire movie, unlike any other vampire movie. Catherine Deneuve stars as an immortal 4,000-year-old vampire living in Manhattan with her current lover, David Barry, as you do, where they survive in splendid isolation on a diet of human blood. But Barry, seduced by Deneuve in 18th century England, is not immortal, and in one of the film's most striking sequences, he ages 300 years in a single afternoon. Deneuve, seeking help to cure him, turns to Susan Sarandon, a doctor engaged in research into ways of halting the aging process. Sarandon, however, is then initiated by Deneuve into the perverse delights of vampirism and eternal life, and the film builds up to a spine-chilling climax of escalating terror. That's what it says on the back, anyway. It's a really strange watch. Very atmospheric. It has that very cold post-punk look to it. It's even got the cameo from Bauhaus at the start of it, singing Bela Lugosi's Dead, so anyone that wears a lot of black like myself will appreciate it for that alone. But it's a really good watch. There have been some other streaming movies and things like that. I've been looking through Foursome and FilmRise and looking at all these weird free apps that have got so many insane films on. I need to cover some I'll do an episode on the weird stuff you can find on those, because there's a lot of VHS era goodies to be found on those services. Even if they are often not the best films in the world, there is always entertainment value to be found in these things. That's what you need to remember. There's always something to enjoy about even the worst movie. At least take a look so you're respecting the effort that people have gone to make these things in the first place. It has to be said that to get something organised and made, even if it's terrible, that is an impressive achievement. So hats off to you movie makers out there. I'm going to be one of you once again before too long. So yes, that has been this week's roundup of what I'm going to sell on eBay. Instead of me just going through eBay like I do on YouTube videos a lot of the time, that's a batch of stuff, sell-throughs I'm going to sell. Hopefully going to sell on eBay. I'm going to batch some of them up. Some of them are going to be individuals. Very mixed bag. Because, I'm always going to be a VHS fan. I'm always going to be an ex-rental fan over the sell-throughs. But I do love the sell-throughs. They do certainly serve a purpose. And they always have served a purpose ever since they were introduced many, many years ago. I mean, there are some sell-throughs that I will always keep, like Subspecies or Nightbreed or Aliens, Dark Angel, Scanners, my old Elm Street tapes, that sort of thing. I've still got the original Friday the 13th Part 6 I got as I'll say a teenager, but I was about 13. 12, possibly, yeah, something like that. And still love that tape to this day. Always worth having, always worth keeping favourites, but the ones I'm not going to really watch again and again, those can go. If you want to read about stuff I say about VHS tapes, please do check out my books, VHS Ate My Brain, the revised edition, and VHS Ate My Brain 2, The Revenge. There'll be further VHS Ate My Brain books out, one new one this year, and an omnibus this year, and then next year there'll be 2 new VHS Ate My Brain books out. They are not like sequels, they are spin-offs with a theme, so please do check those out. Also check me out on Planet Hex on YouTube, and if you haven't subscribed to this show, please do. That would be really nice. I appreciate it. Every single one of you. You're all marvellous. I'm Andrew Hornt. This is the VHS Ate My Brain podcast, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. See ya.